everyone wants to think positively. Not a single fight or negative thought. Many of us prefer to have a lot of fun and a sense of joy in our lives. Some people even try to share that feeling with others. So if you want excitement or adventure during your everyday life, you can always count on Gabby. She is known for loving everything about nature, especially animals. In the beginning, she didn't start off strong. Everyone found her annoying and never stopped talking. She even had some trust issues with people like Dan or the Purple Team because they tried to vote her out of the game. Gabby does agree to work alongside Gret in order to keep herself safe, but she keeps getting tormented by Gret's attitude. The only person that seems to really like Gabby is Ellie. She gives the soon-to-be fashion designer a lot of joy in her life since she's always running multiple jobs constantly to pay off her debts. But whenever Gabby feels lonely or someone forces her to not talk to Ellie on the other team, she gets haunted by her own dark side, telling her to get revenge on everyone with extreme levels.
How dare they do this to you again? You leave right now and take your revenge!
Whatever you do, never break Gabby. Although it may feel like the odds were stacked against her, she wasn't afraid to stand up on what she believed was right. She won the Bell Challenge after no longer serving Gret and used her immunity totem to save Ellie during Dan's elimination. Despite coming in 8th place in Season 1, she discovers something disturbing inside the loser motel, so she came back to the camp undercover and called Tom for help and told the police that Derek, Trevor, and Jensen were doing illegal deforestation and animal killings. After their show ended, Gabby continued to date her girlfriend Ellie and help or support her during her college years. They both got invited to the All-Star season, but there was always some drama happening on the show. After Ellie got roped into the Villains Alliance, the rest of the science team voted her off during the Space Adventure episode. Gabby was so upset and furious that her gal was gone, so she decided to take Ellie's place as a new member of the Villains Alliance and get revenge on Tess, Tom, and Aiden. This allowed her to make big game moves by voting with the Yellow Team to vote out Tess and beat Tom in the Tiebreaker Challenge. However, while she did decide to go rogue, she noticed that Yul kept attacking Gret despite the fact they were supposed to be a couple. Even though she didn't get along with Gret back then, she still wanted to help her get out of a toxic relationship. While the two are now good friends, Gabby's evil side still can't forget what happened in the past. This caused Gabby to fight against herself and save her new friend from the instant elimination at the TikTok race. It did end up eliminating Gabs again, but she doesn't regret sacrificing herself for Gret. To this day, she still brings tons of energy and fun to not just Ellie or Gret, but for Tom, Jake, Miriam, and everyone else in Toronto. She may be considered unpredictable, but Gabby the Forest Marauder makes every day a fun day.
I'm Mr. Whiskers. Do you have any carrots?
The hardest part about making an anime reality show is not deciding who should get eliminated, but figuring out who should win in the end. James's victory was okay, but not impactful, and Rhea hurt a lot of people during her $3 million prize. Which leads us to the first official winner of Disventure Camp, Miriam. At first, she seems like just an ordinary old lady. Always grumpy, wants to be left alone, and doesn't want to make friends with anyone, and she's only here to pay her retirement funds. The only person that wanted to hang out with her was Jake because she reminded him of his own grandmother. Of course, she wasn't interested in bonding, but when Jake received a call that his own grandma passed away, Miriam couldn't help but overhear and felt really bad for him. That's when we discover the truth on why she's been neglecting people. She had a son and husband that died a long time ago. Miriam wanted to make a surprise cheesecake for her husband's birthday. When her son took his dad to the mall for a birthday gift, they both got hit by a drunk driver and nobody survived the collision. Ever since then, Miriam fell into a darkness of despair, struggling to get back up for her family. So she decided to open up to others, and now she, Jake, and Tom are friends. Her social game not only gradually improved, such as helping Tom and Jake's relationship, but she's actually stronger than she looks. She's a rowing expert, a knife throwing champion, and she can make some delicious meals even if they eat something disgusting like a cockroach pizza.
And when Jake and I cooked, I haven't felt that normal in a long time.
What's even ironic about Miriam's stay in the game is that not killing the team switching, she never received a single vote on getting eliminated. And in another shocking turn of events, Miriam made it to the finale and won the game by tricking Ellie and outracing Fiore. She may not be the strongest member of the group, but she had the skills and brain to pull it off in the end. In Disventure Camp All-Stars, she used the money to buy a house near the beach and helped Jake move out of his parents' house, becoming good neighbors. Although this time she didn't last long, she was still keen on exposing the villain's alliance before her exit. Whether she was still competing or living her life outside the game, she was a wonderful grandmother to everyone she ever connected with. So let's give it up for Miriam, the woman that showed you can get better with age.
Oh, you better believe it, hun.
When it comes to Connor back in Season 2, he didn't appear a lot in it, yet he still plays a major role in the series. His original goal was to feel young again and try to hang out with the current generation, but he doesn't know a lot about some of the recent stuff like gaming, social media, or anything. He felt very alone and had a hard time fitting in. It wasn't until he spent some time with the Bollywood actress Rhea, explaining how she also struggled to fit into the other side of the world when expanding her acting career. She simply said to just be herself. Those words got Connor thinking, and he decided to accept his current age but still be able to help the young generation in any way. And he managed to do so. He supported Kai unleashing his emotions on protecting Maggie, recommended Hunter to choose between Allie or Tess, and he even offered Oliver a job when Crystal fired him before he came back as an intern again. The reason why he didn't last long on his debut season was due to a double elimination, and he volunteered to leave the game to save everyone from any troubles. He didn't really came to win some money. He runs a successful perfume making company, and he gave Rhea one as a birthday present. During the Season 2 finale, he wasn't proud how Rhea was playing the game during the race, but after Rosa saved her life and acknowledging her mistake, Connor was willing to give Rhea another chance. Unfortunately, he suffered the roughest patch out of everyone in the show. Rhea and Connor were both selected to take part in All-Stars, giving Connor a chance to catch up with Rhea. Although they were on the same team again, their relationship grew to be very unhealthy. According to Connor, whenever there are no cameras around, Rhea is sweet and kind, but when it's lights, camera, action, she's mean and destructive, exceeding everyone's expectation on being the villainess of TV. Even Rhea tries to tell him to stay away from her so that he wouldn't get hurt during the competition. But Connor didn't want to give up on her and tried to find the Rhea that he knew that may still be inside of her. But no matter what he does, he still failed and got eliminated on the yellow team to keep the villain's alliance intact. But in the 11th episode, Last Second Chance, he was brought back to the game, and now he has a new goal, defeating Rhea. His first order of business was to be the new glue for the Heroes Alliance by giving them a motive on why they want to win and stop the drama happening inside the group. While the good guys did manage to eliminate a few villain members, things took a turn when Aiden saw Alec and Rhea kiss. All that it did is exposing Connor as a fraud. What I mean is, he told Jake that he never actually ran a business all by himself. His dad's advisors do most of the work. He just keeps the company's name and doesn't earn himself a penny. Now that Rhea went her separate ways, he learned the hard way that there's no room for him in her heart anymore, questioning if everything that they had was real or just acting. At one point, he saved Rhea from falling off a tree, but she was still gunning for immunity, so she pushed him off the horse and broke his ankle. And as he stated earlier, the cameras were on her, and she continued her dark path as the villainess of TV, causing more mayhem inside the campsite. Even so, he still wants to take down the actors and help everyone left in the game. He became a man of his words on Gret's immunity tone deal, helped Alec find new love after the show ended, and confront Allie regarding her gameplay and opinion towards others. He wasn't trying to prove a point to Rhea or win her back or anything. He was actually trying to save her from being alone again. And yes, she still ended up winning Disventure Camp All-Stars, but he still would not accept her after everything she heard dearly because, like he said,
"You can't write off everything you did as an act. Now I know the real you."
That's when Connor decided to cut ties with Rhea for good, and the old man found real love and got married at the end. That's a double wow! Even though his game ended as a loser, Connor did come out as a winner in the end.
For someone who worries about their maturity, you'd make a great dad.
No kidding?
Now before we get to number 1, I'd like to give some honorable mentions to the top 10 best Disventure Camp episodes. Number 10, Truth Hurts, a full-length challenge on contestants exposing their dirty secrets. Number 9, Mazed and Confused, a fear-based race that truly tests the player's courage. Number 8, Nightmare and Tipiska, who needed in charge of a horror-themed challenge with a few tricks up her sleeves. Number 7, Disventures, a cool superhero challenge with Gret standing up for herself. Number 6, Put to the Sword, the villain wins the game, but everyone felt like true champions in the end. Number 5, Reach for the Stars, we'll lean back our favorite contestants and learn what's been happening to them lately. Number 4, A Heart's Desire, a more satisfying finale with a more satisfying winner. Number 3, Strike a Chord. Yeah, these songs are pretty catchy. My favorite is Piggyback. Number 2, Don't Open Cameras Inside, a crazy horror-themed episode on surviving zombies in virtual reality. And number 1, No Vacancy. It actually feels nice to take a break from the game. No drama, no betrayals, no worries. After looking over and examining all the characters throughout the show, we finally reached the finish line on this countdown. As I mentioned before, this was a difficult decision because most of the contestants were worthy contenders on Camp Typiscal, whether they win challenges or fulfill their personal goals, prize or not. So who is this lucky champion on this personal list? Well, believe it or not, that crown goes to one of the coolest characters from Season 1, Tom. I know what some of you might be wondering. Why is he number 1? He never made it through the top 5 in any competition. He's tough, but he didn't win any individual immunity. Well, that is true, but his journey on DC is far more interesting and even complex. He dreamed of becoming a rescue hero inspired by his beloved mother, but he's not considered a professional spy. During his early spy years, he screwed up an investigation and his boss wasn't happy with the results in the end. In return, he was given some nasty scars on his face and decided to cover it up with a mask. When there were some reports about some illegal activity happening during the making of Disventure Camp, he decided to go undercover as a contestant. This was his last chance to redeem himself. At first, he was doing a good job leading the Teal team, gathering food and supplies, and even grew a close friendship with Jake. But after Gret exposed the truth to Jake that Tom was working as a spy, the two boys were arguing about whether or not what they have was real. Well, Jensen uploaded the moment online and Tom got fired. He was very devastated, and while Jake jumped to conclusions over the spy cover-up, Tom wasn't honest enough with him at the time. That's when the two decided to talk to each other and compromise if there was ever a problem they would like to address. And since Tom no longer works at the agency, he took off his mask, but Jake still finds him beautiful. Scars or no scars. But the gang still wanted to play mind games with them. When Alec and Fiore tricked Ellie into splitting up Tom and Jake, they tried to stop them from talking to each other so they can get the votes to get rid of Tom. They lied to Jake about Tom having an affair with someone else, and the purple team planned to vote out Jake, forcing Tom to use his immunity totem to save him. But Tom was the real target the whole time. The ex-spy was so mad at Jake for breaking their promise, he walked away and didn't want anything to do with him anymore. But before he took the bus of losers, Gabby gave him some intel about the illegal wildlife destruction. When the two hosts got arrested during the finale, Jensen stole Miriam's $1 million prize, so Tom fought against him on the bus to get it back. After Tom returned the money back to Miriam, it was announced he got a new job as a police officer. In addition, he apologized to Jake for yelling at him, and they decided to remain friends for the time being until they're ready to continue with their relationship. Between seasons 2 and 3, Tom was living a happy life as a cop. He gets to eat donuts, he's friends with another officer named Lucia, he rescues a stray cat named Gas from a tree and adopts her, the kids look up to him like a hero, and even gave the police department a positive image. But during the past 2 years, he's been avoiding Jake, not even a simple call to him or Miriam to see how things are going. The truth is, Tom is afraid that if he talks to Jake, he could end up hurting both of them like last time. When Crystal announced an All-Star season, Tom took a leap of faith to talk to Jake. Unfortunately, more drama occurred during the storyline. Jake grew jealous of Tom hanging out with Aiden, and Tom continued to avoid him to prevent the pain. But that plan did nothing but spread even more pain on the heroes. It wasn't until Miriam and Connor talked to Tom about facing his fears and continuing to have faith in Jake during the alliance. Both of them helped make Tom stronger on the inside. Sure, Tom didn't beat his own record because he ironically lost in the jailbreaking challenge, but he finally decided to stop ghosting Jake, and once the show is over, they can pick up where they left off and ask him out. After the show is over, Tom and Jake lived happily as a couple, but he sadly decided to quit his job as a cop because he didn't want to get hurt severely nor receive more trauma during his rescue missions. So he decided to follow his own path of being a public hero without getting any more physical or mental scars. But don't worry, he's now working as a lifeguard. Plus, he invited Jake's brother, Sean, to Miriam's birthday party for a chance to patch things up between the two. Finally, he set up a romantic picnic at the camp where Tom showed his true face to Jake and kissed. The Watermelon Boy picks out the initials they made a long time ago in the shape of a heart and announced their upcoming marriage. It showed in both DC seasons and the spin-off miniseries that they somehow never gave up on each other and managed to survive the drama. While Jake went through an entire storyline on being true to himself as a nice person and learning from his mistakes, Tom conquered his own fears and found his place as a hero with the help from his mom, boyfriend, Miriam, Gabby, Lucia, and all the friends he made throughout the series. And that is why Tom is the #1 best Disventure Camp contestant.
No matter what, I'm glad I met you, Tom.
Same here, Jake.
Do you agree with my list? What are some of your favorite Disventure Camp contestants? Well, feel free to leave in the comments below. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe me for a new video and other project. I'm Matt Harry Patrick. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going for a carnival ride. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe me for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.